computer. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to review Jack Frost Big Boulder. This is up in the heart of the Poconos. This is where people like to go and spend time during the summer and the winter. Uh, Jack Frost. So I'll start with Jack Frost. These two mountains are really, really close to one another, just several miles from each other. They're both. Neither of them is very large, but both of them have advantages and disadvantages. From this site, you may be able to ascertain that this is an Epic Pass mountain. Last year I had Epic Pass and I used it and skied at Jack Frost and Big Boulder. I enjoy both of them. They're very, very small. Not I reviewed Bear Creek the other day. I think Big Boulder is about the same as Bear Creek, although it may have more runs. I'd have to count them out. Jack Frost is a little bit better, a little bit more advanced. So I'd say Big Boulder is a little bit less advanced, although the ski teams train at Big Boulder. So if you're interested in getting your kids involved in skiing, that's a place to go. Ski racing. If you don't want to be around kids who race, because they're like like race cars traveling on a highway when you're trying to learn how to ski, that's maybe you want to stay away from Big Boulder. I We don't know what the hours are. I was trying to see what the hours are for this coming season, but generally, Jack Frost is open during the day. They don't have any lights, so they're open probably till like 4:30, and then Big Boulder is open on the evenings during weekdays in general, and then again, I didn't see the hours yet, and then weekends they're open, and they have night skiing and a terrain park. They're pretty well known for having a really nice terrain park. I know people who work at both of these places and they really like it there. And I've enjoyed skiing. Honestly, I really love skiing there. If you can on a weekday, Jack Frost is amazing. It's gonna be, especially if you go early, like when they open, you'll have very light crowds and you can have a lot of fun practicing whatever you want to do. There's a good race course there. So let me go ahead and look at the trail map. I think I have it open here. Trail map for Jack Frost. Just another thing, Jack Frost is about an hour and 45 minutes away from Philadelphia. You can take the Blue Route or I-476. It's a toll road. You can go it's speed limit is 70, so you can get there pretty quickly. I've really never had any problem driving there if I want to drive up from that area. That Blue Route will take you to Scranton, so you can go to Montage and then you can get off and go to Elk if you want there too, and some of those other ski areas. So let's take a look at this trail map. You have a really nice beginner area here. This is one of the nicer beginner areas. Not very steep. It's very, very wide and has its own little lift here. It's a great place to learn. It's a really, really great place to learn. Once you progress, you can go down these trails. I think this was the first blue run I ever did when I learned to ski. So that was well, no, I shouldn't say that because when I was in college, we went a couple of times. We went skiing or whatever I was doing. I was just trying to survive. And I had these friends who were like gung ho to do weird stuff. So they probably took me down some scary stuff. We actually went here on a college trip one time, and I had no idea what I was doing. But so maybe I did something else. But in terms of real skiing, this is the first one I ever did, Ridge Run. So these are really nice. There's Easy Rider, Jane's Lane. Easy Rider has a little bit of a steep area here to learn how to do steeper terrain, and they all converge together at these lifts here. All the lifts have been upgraded. So Epic upgraded the lifts last year, so they're really nice, and I had no issues with that at all. Jane's Lane is kind of nice. This Lehigh right here, you're right underneath the lift. So if you want to show off, this is a good place to show off. It's pretty wide. It looks nice. Good terrain park. Exhibition is another fun place to ski. Um, then so these are all kind of intermediate. Well, they are true intermediates if I would look at them. They are true intermediate areas. My favorite areas are I like doing challenge. This is the race course. I love this course. It's really nice. It has a couple of changes in pitch. So you get if you go fast, you could probably get a little bit in the air if you please. Great place to ski first thing in the morning. So it's one thing about Jack Frost is it's a bottom up type mountain. So the lodge is up top. right? So you always have to come back up here. So like first thing in the morning before the lifts open, just a few minutes before they open, I like to ski down here. Nobody's there. You get to the lift and just wait for it to open. This area here has got some really, really nice terrain. Shame it's not steeper. I'll link a video, say the river shot. It's such a beautiful trail because first of all, you're as you're going up this lift, right about say right about here, you get this nice steep, then a flat, and then another steep area. And from right here at the top of that, the edge of that steep, you can see the this river below. It's so beautiful. It's one of the truly beautiful areas. Floyd's Folly is an interesting run. As you hit the curve here, you have this really steep descent, which looks kind of intimidating. So I wouldn't want to just fly through there unless you want to just get air. A lot of people like to play around in the woods. One thing that's really good about Jack Frost is wooded runs. You can go into the woods anywhere. Even down here, there's well, I'm thinking maybe right here. Some of the instructors that I know when they were young, they used to just fly through these woods, and it's really difficult. I don't even know how they could do that. They go through those woods. That's some really difficult terrain. So this is the mountain that has some nice, fun stuff to do. The lodge is pretty old-fashioned. Good food though, good food. And with Epic, you get discount if you use your Epic pass to buy food. Parking's pretty good. I mean, I've never had any issue with this place at all. Even for coming here for races. I remember my son did a race here once. It's a rainy day. That's the only thing that's tough is like they were doing a race and it was raining, but it was like cold rain still in the middle of winter. And they were racing on challenge, and then you're coming back up with a wet bodysuit, and then you have to go on a lift to get back up top. Makes for a nice miserable day. uh, I think it's really a nice place though. I enjoy going there. And then of course you can also look at a Big Boulder. Big Boulder is small. Like, there's a really nice lake right here. I forgot what the name of this lake is. Maybe, or it could be Boulder Lake. I don't know. But this is a fun area. There's a nice ski school area. I think this little Edelweiss and Lower Sitzmark, those are fun beginner runs. Seems like the lessons are mainly here on Edelweiss, where so you get Lower Sitzmark, you get kids who are doing race training to come down here and fly by. Little Boulder as well. My favorite trails here are Midway. That's a fun one. Big Boulder. These ones here. Oh, I think Big Boulder's one I like. I can't remember one of these two. They're just fun to cruise down. There's just a whole bunch of nice little trails. You can even go around here, the Elbow and Der Schuss. So some of these are good. They got some nice little steep areas just to learn. Probably the one I like the least is this Upper Stützmark because it's like it's really crowded and people are flying through here. By the end of the day, you're like just trying to find yourself in the piles of snow there to get back down. So I tend to stay more here where I can have a little bit more fun. I enjoy this area. Again, if you're going to come here in a weekend, get here early, you can park right near the lift. And if you have your Epic Pass, you can just jump right on the lift if you want. I tend to like to go inside the lodge. Good food. Never had any problem with either of these mountains. I love going there. The drawback is that they're far further away. Mostly people stay here, and a lot of families come up from areas like DC, Washington, DC, and have homes because there's a lot of little chalets and condos that you could stay at nearby. So this is a fun area that people come in all summer long to play. And you can't really hike here in the summer. There's a lot of snakes and stuff like that. So you're not allowed to hike here in the summer. But yeah, I'd rather be there for the winter to ski. Let's see if there's anything else I want to mention about that. So prices, I mean, one thing I would do if you want to ski in any epic mountain is get some kind of epic pass, even if it's an epic day pass, but you have to be careful to follow the deadline. So it says you save on passes until November 16th. You got to be careful to make sure you hit these deadlines because they have an epic day pass. Let me see if they have this right here. Click that. I was just looking at this epic day pass, and I don't have epic this year. I'm on Icon, but Epic Day Pass is $64, and you can go like a lot of places with this, right? That's incredible, right? I'm not so sure. Just for this, build your own pass, save 27, choose which resort. Hey, starting at $64, so you can depends on where you're going. So So, I mean, it can be worth it, especially if you want to go to one of these, like say if you go early season to Okemo, which I'll be reviewing soon up in Vermont. I mean, you could pay like, close to 150 to 200 bucks in one of those places. If you can get a cheap day pass, yeah, I'd rather do that. Sometimes they'll have passes for several days. I know like Keystone and the ones out west, I've used those before. And if you buy one of the passes, like 4-day pass or something like that, you can get like a really, really good deal. So I've used those before, I've seen like a 4-day Keystone Crested Butte 4-day pass. I mean, something like that. You get to ski some fun places, and it's much cheaper than if you were to buy them at the window. I hope nobody ever buys tickets at window because you're really getting ripped off. So if you can get a pass in advance or even look for discounts somewhere before you go, it's much more worth doing it that way. So I like these mountains. I doubt I'll be skiing there this year unless there's a race. If there's a race and I want to do the race, I'll go through one of the organizations that runs a race and they'll get me a ticket. But I don't foresee myself skiing here this season, which kind of sucks. So I do like driving up there. It's kind of a fun drive. You're like hey, Pennsylvania skiing and Pocono skiing is way different than skiing in other areas. Like when you're in Colorado, you see all the beautiful mountains and stuff there. When you're in Pennsylvania, you got all the trees, no leaves on them. Kind of looks dreary, but then you get these fun mountains to play in. I just like it's so much fun. Yeah, I'll hopefully have some fun skiing there again in the future. You never know. But anyway, that's my review of Jack Frost Big Boulder in the Poconos. Thank you.